So our next parameter is another multiplicative parameter. So we're multiplying something by this parameter b. Okay, so b, I've just oopsie, I always forget to do that. There we go. B is located there. So if you're thinking about your function, you're going to see this value of b, this number for the parameter b, is going to be located inside of a bracket beside the x. Okay, so a was located outside of our function. B is going to be multiplying inside the function beside the value of x. So what will we have happen? If we have b between 0 and 1, so if the absolute value of b is between 0 and 1, okay, so if it's a decimal less than 1, we're going to have a horizontal stretch. So it's going to stretch out horizontally. If b, the absolute value of b, is greater than 1, then we are going to have a horizontal compression. And if b is a negative value, so if it's less than 0, then we're going to have a reflection about the y-axis. So let's take a look at examples of each of these and what their functions look like. So here we have, this is sine of x. For some reason when I transferred it, it put sine 0x. That doesn't make any sense. And we have sine of 0.5x. So you can see here that my parameter b is located inside of that bracket right next to the x, and it is a 0.5. So it's our first situation here, that horizontal stretch, because b is in between 0 and 1. Okay, we have a value of b between 0 and 1. It's 0.5. And we can see that our graph has been stretched out horizontally. Our original graph in the black, you can compare. So we have this value being stretched out horizontally. Okay, so the shape of the graph is much more stretched. We have a horizontal compression happening. So these are my two functions here. Again, this is a little bit hard to read. This is the absolute value of 2x, and this is just the absolute value of x. So my original function is in the black here, and we know from our notes here, if b is greater than 1, which it is, it's 2 in this case, my value of b is 2, I end up with a horizontal compression. So everything is getting smushed in from the sides. That's how I'm sort of imagining it happening here. We have a horizontal compression happening. And our last one, this is my original function here. So 2 to the power of x, and this is 2 to the power of a negative x. So we can see that negative sign, our parameter here, would be, again, a negative 1. That would be the value of our parameter. And we can see a reflection about this y-axis. We can see that symmetry around the y-axis. So that's what happens when we have a negative value. And as it was in the parameter a, we can have a combination of that reflection and a horizontal compression or a stretch. We can have both of those things happening at once.